Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be giving a spoiler-free review of Doctor Who Once and Future, Part 1, Past Lives, written by Robert Valentine. I set myself the challenge of listening to all of Past Lives, as well as the extended extras and the music track, all while walking on my treadmill. The whole thing took me about 2 hours to listen through everything. So I got in 4 miles, according to my treadmill. As far as what I'll be talking about, we know the cast from the image of Once and Future. So we know that the Doctor is played by Tom Baker. Sarah Jane Smith is in this audio, as played by her daughter, Sadie Miller. Kate Lethbridge Stewart is in this story, as well as Osgood and the Meddling Monk. Other than that, I am going to keep this spoiler free because I want as many people as possible to get into the Once and Future series. You can't get the limited edition CDs anymore, but you can get the download version of the limited edition bundle, which comes with extended extras and music suites. All right, let's get into the review. Robert Valentine does a wonderful job of setting up that very big story with very big consequences and lots of questions. Valentine also gives us a wonderfully manageably sized story that doesn't feel like the solving of the plot happens too quickly or like it's an unrealistic problem for the characters to solve. The stakes are high, but what they have to do to deal with the problem is absolutely within the realm of believability. The whole story is wonderful, and the theme of it is beautifully meta by giving us a story that is about nostalgia, that is about past lives. I mean, Once and Future describes it all. It's this juxtaposition between the past and the future, and they're meeting all together, which creates for a lot of lovely opportunities for moments that were really emotional for me, that were wonderfully done, beautifully acted, and just really helped you as a fan work out the feelings that you're feeling as we celebrate the 60th anniversary. Disbelief about how long it's been since the past, a nostalgia for times when we met these wonderful characters, but also an excitement for the future. And you get the future in the form of Osgood and Kate Lethbridge Stewart, and the past in the form of Tom Baker as the Doctor and Sadie Miller as Elizabeth Sladen. Plus, you get the chaotic element of the monk. All of them did wonderful jobs with their performances. You would not believe it has been 4 decades since Tom Baker finished playing the Doctor. He just dives right back into it and does a wonderful job with his performance. It makes you feel right at home. And Sadie Miller sounds so much like Sarah Jane, and that is heartbreaking and wonderful. And it does such a wonderful job of honoring Elizabeth Sladen and gives us the wonderful gift of being able to write new stories for Sarah Jane. It's absolutely a wonderful performance by Sadie Miller and Tom Baker. Jemma Redgrave as Kate Lethbridge Stewart and Ingrid Oliver as Osgood are absolutely wonderful. Osgood is there as a stand-in for the fans, and that is a wonderful connection to have. I love that all of these characters had reasons for why they were involved in the plot and had things to do that made sense for their characters. That makes for a wonderfully believable plot. Kate Lethbridge Stewart standing in as this new character that is very much her own, but is also there representing the Brigadier in many wonderful ways. And of course, the Meddling Monk being just that, but as the extras talk about in more depth, it's a complex character that isn't all bad, but isn't all good. The guest appearances, which I will not talk to you about in this video, were wonderful, so I absolutely loved those. Don't look at the cast list or really the description if you don't want those spoiled for you. I have to give a special shout out to the director, Helen Goldman, for making this story absolutely come to life. Everything worked so marvelously, and there was so much to bring together. The balance that we had of movement in the episode, of emotion, of comedy, of action. It was wonderful and wonderfully done. So the track that you download for Once and Future Part 1 has Past Lives on it. That's the first 60 minutes. Then there's 15 minutes of your standard extras. But as I found out by listening entirely through that first track and then to the extended extras, I found out the hard way that the first 15 minutes of the extended extras are the same as what you hear at the end of the very first track with Past Lives. So my recommended listening order would be listen through Past Lives, the first hour of that track, and then just stop the track and start the half-hour extended extras. If you were like me and you listened entirely through that first track, then starting at 14:52 on the extended extras track will get you right around the spot where you need to be to listen to the extended part of the extras, a 15-minute kind of mini podcast that is a roundtable discussion between the executive producer Nicholas Briggs, the producer David Richardson, script editor Matt Fitton, writer Robert Valentine, and director Helen Goldwyn. So That was a lovely conversation to hear. It was so enjoyable and lovely to have all 5 of them talking together and asking each other questions about their very different experiences of making the audios. And then the music track was 7 minutes straight of the wonderful music composed by Howard Carter. I wish we could have gotten just the music version of the entire 60-minute track. It would have been so lovely to listen to, but this was great as well and probably more realistic for people to enjoy. The pacing of the whole thing was really nicely done. It did not feel like they bit off more than they could chew. It pitched everything in the right sort of way, and the cliffhanger into the next story, or the launch into the next story, was wonderfully done as well. It's got me really wishing that I could just binge this whole series all in one go. I can absolutely go into more depth with anybody in the comments who want to talk about the spoilery things. I recommend avoiding the comments in general if you have not listened to the story yet. Hope that you will. Links to get it are in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. Keep growing your knowledge collection and connection with other Doctor Who fans. Albert the Adipose says hello, and we both hope to see you in the next video. Bye!